everyone. My name is Brianna Flonk, and I'm a pest survey specialist for the USDA APHIS PPQ field operations.
And my name is Emma Perez. I'm a plant health safeguarding specialist for the Citrus Health Response Program.
And this video is part of a series of videos introducing you to the IPHIS data collector application. I encourage you all to watch all of the training videos we have at least once to gain a broader understanding of the application as a whole, and then to use as reference for the future.
In this video, we will cover QA/QC in IDC.
Hey folks, Jenny Sauer here, popping in to let you know how you can follow along. You have two links in the description below. This one is the IPHIS main webpage, which gives you the IPHIS resources page, which leads to the Mobile Data Collection Tools website. So you could find it using the IPHIS main landing page, the Mobile Data Collection Tools website. Also, the Mobile Data Collection Tools website is listed in the description below as a second useful URL. From here, go to the General Training Documents, where you can see IPHIS support listed, locate IPHIS in the list, and open the IDC Mobile Application User Guide. Use this dynamic table of contents to locate and click on the topic of the video you're watching here now. If you find the need for getting help or some troubleshooting tips, getting help is here at the bottom. There is an Appendix A on the application structure, Appendix B describing user roles, Appendix C on some typical troubleshooting tips and their solutions, and Appendix D helpful definitions on glossary words unique to IPHIS itself.
By the end of the session, you will be able to do best practices for data entry on IDC and have a checklist for data entry in IDC. On page 22 of the user guide, we have our QA/QC section. Before you upload your workbook at the end of the day, a few best practices to do is just to check your data. Make sure that there is no misspelling in your locations, site names. Also make sure that you have an activity for each of your sites. Remember, an activity is the one that counts your inspection. So without an activity, we don't have the inspection for that site nor for that location. Also, if you took samples, make sure you have added the samples onto your activity. Also, when you do a modification for a location, it's going to turn yellow. So you can always count the yellow rows and make sure that you have the same amount edited that you did for that day. So if you have 10 on your survey sheet, then make sure you have 10 rows highlighted. Once you do your corrections on IDC and you upload, your lead will approve your uploads or commit your uploads. Once they're committed, your location nor your site will be able to be modified on IDC, which is why it's important to make sure you have all the corrections done beforehand. You can still make those corrections, but it would have to be done on IPHIS web. So for locations, if you make a modification on a location, it's going to turn yellow. So remember, a location is a piece of land, a parcel. So it's going to be an address of a location, a business, something like that. So anytime you do a modification on a location, it will turn yellow. For a site, anytime you do a modification on a site, it's going to turn green. A site is where you can make your modifications to the status. So if you go to a location and that site is no longer there, that tree, that shrub, that plant is no longer there, then you can hit retired or inactive. It really depends on your protocol. So please refer back to your local protocol to see which one to select. But whichever either one you select, it's going to notify your technician lead about a removal or an inactive site for that particular location. So we are here at our location. Let me do a little modification so you can kind of see what I was talking about earlier. So this is the location. You go to the site. I have two sites here. Let's say this first one. I want to add an activity. I'm going to do a quick activity real quick just so you can kind of see. So once you add your activity, if you go back, oopsie, you will notice that now my location is in yellow because I modified it somehow. I added an activity, so it's going to turn it in yellow. So if I go to site, that first site is in green because I modified it. I added an activity. So that's how you can know what you did. If I go to the second one, so this is already a committed location, right? So I can't, I'm touching the screen here, I can't modify it one bit. The only thing I can modify is the status. So let's say this particular site is no longer here. My protocol, in order to identify a site for my office, it's gonna be inactive. So I'm gonna select inactive, okay, save. And you see the printing, the lettering is now in red. So that will notify your lead that there's changes to this site.
So the site that I have is track 1. When I click that, everything looks good. Then I'm going to click activities at the bottom right. And now I can see that I have 2 activities. I have the installation of the trap and then monitoring of the trap. And you can see they both say that it's the same day because that's the day that I was recording this video and going through the app. You would want to double check that the dates were correct as well. Now when I click on monitoring the trap, I can click on samples at the bottom right, and there's one sample with the collection number that I entered. And if I double check that and make sure everything looks good, I can feel confident about that location and start moving on to the next one. One important aspect of the IDC app to know is that anything that's edited within the location, site, activity, or sample, if it's the same field as another tier, it's not automatically going to change if you change it in a different tier. Same with deletions. If you delete an activity, it's not going to delete the site that the activity was attached to. So you can see the latitude and longitude. If you created a default site that was tied to the same latitude and longitude, if you change the latitude in the site or the location, it would not change in the other tier of the location or site. So for instance, if you wanted to change the latitude of the site and you went to the site and you changed the latitude and then saved it, the location's latitude and longitude would not change along with the site latitude and longitude because they anticipate that the site could be a different location than the actual location. Same with deletions, be very careful and if possible avoid deleting anything. If you delete a location, it is not only going to delete the location, but it's going to delete everything underneath it. And you get a little warning message. This is by deleting this location, you are also permanently deleting any associated contact site, sketch, and photo data that has not been uploaded. Are you sure? Just be very careful, especially if you're going to upload to IPHIS. This video just showed how to enter field data with the IDC app. The next video will show how to upload the data to the IPHIS database. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.